Hey, what's going on, everybody? Here to bring you another Supernatural review, and I'm going to be doing Supernatural Season 5. Um, a lot of people believe that they really should have ended the series with Season 5, and I completely understand that. Now, as a fan, I obviously want to see more, but I do agree that they probably should have ended it at Season 5. But I got to tell you guys, this is my favorite season of the whole series. Um, and from beginning to end, this season just grabs you. And start off with the story a little bit. If you've watched the finale of season 4, you know that Ruby was playing Sam all along, and Lilith was the final seal. And Sam kills her, and Lucifer is rising out of his cage. And that's where we pick up at the beginning of season 5. And basically, you got Sam and Dean and Bobby and Cass. Cass rebelled to help out Sam and Dean, so he is basically got kicked out of heaven, and so all four of them are trying to stop the apocalypse. And there's a lot that goes on in this season. And at the beginning of it, you got Bobby gets possessed, and he takes control for a second, stabs himself, and he becomes paralyzed. Meg returns. Now it's not the same Meg, even though I prefer this Meg over the blonde haired Meg from season 1. And so you got, and also there's a lot of like trust building with Sam and Dean. Obviously, Dean does not trust Sam because of what he did on season 4 with the demon blood and whatnot. And so the beginning of the season is really them trying to trust each other again. Mainly Dean trusting Sam, and it don't, they actually, Sam takes a little bit of a break because he doesn't trust himself with the demon blood. He cannot be around demons, and he wants to take a break from hunting. And now, if you really enjoyed the Angels, they really crank it up even more on season 5. You got the introduction of archangels. I love the archangels. I think they are very interesting, and when they're on screen, it's really awesome to see. I always were very fascinated about archangels, and I think there's really a lot more they could have told, but um, so you got Lucifer, you got Michael, you got Raphael, and you find out that the trickster from seasons 2 and 3, he was actually Gabriel. He went to like his own witness protection program because he wanted to get away from heaven and all the drama with his brothers. So you find out that that's a nice little nugget. And I mean, there's a lot. They introduce horsemen. You got the 4 horsemen. You got death, war, pestilence, and famine, and they're also really interesting. I really like Death. I think he's by far the best horseman, and obviously you see him more in the series. And there's just really they bring back Adam, the half brother, and there's a really good episode with they Sam and Dean actually go to heaven, and you kind of see like their best memories. You see Pamela, you see Ash, you see Harvell's Roadhouse, you see Mary. Unfortunately, you do not see John or Ellen and Joe. Ellen and Joe is finally on this season again. Rufus is on one episode. Uh, now, and that's pretty much the story. I know I got into a little bit of the pros. In my opinion, there's really no flaws in this season. I think it's really good storytelling. The intensity is there, the drama, the action. It's got some humor in it, but not too much, obviously, because this is a really dark, dramatic season, obviously, with the apocalypse. And there's a lot of interesting episodes. You got the end, which is one of my favorite episodes. This is like Zachariah puts Dean into the future, and it's kind of this post apocalyptic world. Um, and another thing that I forgot to mention was you find out that Sam and Dean are the true vessels of Michael and Lucifer. Lucifer, his true vessel is Sam, Michael's true vessel is Dean. So, and that's the apocalypse. Lucifer and Michael fighting. And I mentioned the Heaven episode. That's a really good one. And then you got the finale. Now, let me talk about the finale here for a minute. The finale is probably the best episode of the whole series. A lot of people would probably agree with that. Um, and it is a really good one. The last 5 to 10 minutes is really good. You got Chuck comes back, and he's kind of like the narrative. He's kind of like explaining the episode as it's going on, and he's like writing his book, and then it's really interesting with like Chuck. He disappears, and they don't really explain that. Now you do find out later on, but get into that when we comes there. Um, and you got Dean going to get Lisa and Ben. He's going to start a life with Lisa and Ben, and um, Cass. Now, I forgot to mention Cass. Now, Cass, you find out Cass dies um, at the beginning of the season, and then he comes back, and then he also dies at the finale, but then he comes back again. This is when it really starts with Cass dying and coming back constantly, and so it's really good. It's really interesting, and um, it really did feel like a finale. It really felt like this was the final episode of Supernatural until you see Sam in the last shot. You see Sam standing outside Lisa's house and just kind of looking through the window as Dean, Lisa, and Ben are having dinner together, and then it cuts. And that was really interesting. So it really, you can't wait to find out, well, how did Sam come back? And he comes back pretty much like that. I mean, I could talk about this season all day, guys. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on, like I said. Zachariah is still in this season. You see a lot more of Bobby on this season as well. I think Bobby's on like 10 or 12 episodes, which in other seasons he's only on like 7. Um, so it was really nice to see Bobby more in this season. And now, as far as cons go, and they're not really cons to me, I'm just nitpicking, I guess. One of them is Ellen and Joe. Um, I didn't really like that they killed off Ellen and Joe. You haven't seen Ellen and Joe for 2 seasons, not even a mention of them. And they bring them back for 2 episodes on season 5, and the second episode they kill them off. That really annoyed me. It just did, and I have no idea why they did that. And another one that's kind of a nitpick is the episode that Ellen and Joe die in. They use the cult to try to kill Lucifer. It doesn't work. Lucifer hits Dean, and he goes flying across the field. And you can clearly see when Dean gets knocked out that he has the cult in his hand still. But the problem is you don't see the cult again. It's gone. But how did he lose it? It's in his hand, and they don't really get into that at all. So that's it's just a nitpick of mine, and I feel like also the Supernatural as a whole. I know I haven't talked about this in previous reviews, but Supernatural as a whole, they don't implement their villains that much. You don't really see them a whole lot. Now you do see Lucifer quite a bit. Now you only see Michael twice, which I did not like. You see Raphael once. You see Gabriel twice. Um, but as a series as a whole, they don't really use their villains to their advantage. Um, I can use the Yellow Eye Demon. He started all of this really, um, and you only see him twice, twice, or I guess three times in season two, three times, and then you don't really get a good look of him in season one. You just see his eyes. Um, Seasons three and four, Lilith. Lilith is the main villain, and you see her two times in season three, and then you see her two times in season four. That's it. And I'll get into later seasons when I do those reviews, but it is kind of annoying to me. Um, Even though you do see Lucifer quite a bit in season five, um, that was just something I kind of just wanted to get out there because it's something I've been thinking about. And this isn't a con, but I just forgot to mention that they also introduced Crowley on this season. Crowley is the king of the Crossroads, and if you've seen the other seasons, you know that Crowley becomes a main character in the show. Um, so yeah, guys. I mean, this is the best season in my opinion. A lot of people feel like it should have ended it this season. Um, the first five seasons was really good storytelling. It's like its own little like arc, and then after this, it kind of becomes its own. Um, but overall, guys, I mean, you cannot go wrong with this season. If you enjoyed season four, you'll love the hell out of season five. And I know this probably wasn't really a review; it was more of a kind of just talking. And I tend to do that sometimes. But there's just so much that goes on in the season, and I do want you guys to check out this season. It's the apocalypse. You got the horsemen, you got archangels, you got demons. They bring back some old characters, and just a really nice season to watch. There's not a lot of filler in this season, nowhere near as much as season four. And the filler in this season is actually a lot better, in my opinion, than season four's. But that's my review, guys. What did you guys think about Supernatural season five? Did you think it was the best season of the entire series, or did you think it might have been a little overrated? Um, Tell me in the comment section what you thought, and I'll be doing Supernatural season six. So stay tuned for that, and please subscribe.